My chest absolutely exploded over the last few years, and this video I'm going to share with you my 5 favorite exercises for chest. The first one, dips. Dips are actually responsible for actually most of my chest growth. And of course, dips are more lower and middle chest focused, they don't really hit the upper chest. But still, they really help my chest. Every exercise I perform for my chest, dips are probably the ones that help my chest the most. They really, really help grow my lower and middle chest. And of course, my for the most part, my upper chest lagged for a long time. It wasn't too good for a long time, but recently I actually made it better with some of the other exercises I'm going to share in this video. But dips are very, very good. And why? Because you can get a really, really deep stretch. Most people, they do the equivalent of 90-degree squat on dips. Like they go deep, but not really that deep. They could go a little deeper, but they're actually scared to go that deep because there's a myth on dips that's pretty much as irrelevant as the myth that in the past we used to say that going below 90 degrees, below parallel on squats was actually bad for your knees. It's pretty much the same thing that we currently have for dips. People say, yeah, going below parallel on dips is bad for your shoulders. And you ask them why, and they have no explanation. This is bad for your shoulders. So on dips, I just go as deep as possible. I go literally as so deep that my shoulders are just beside my hands, like this deep, and it doesn't hurt my shoulders. If just go as deep as possible. If you notice that at some point your shoulders kind of hurt, you of course just stop before that point. You just know, okay, yeah, at this point I start getting a little bit of shoulder pain. I'll just stop right before it. But most people can go super deep without feeling any pain in their shoulders or their chest or anything. So just go as deep as possible. If you're like one in a million of out of the people, like you have chest problems on dips, then yeah, maybe you have to find another exercise. But most people could go way below parallel on dips. And it really actually helped me to actually help my shoulders get more flexible, become healthier. Just go super deep on dips. And when you go that deep, the mind muscle connection, the stretch just amazing on your chest. So I really, really enjoy dips. And it helped my chest out a lot. Second one, I actually did this today. Like today, this morning, I had like a push session, sorry. And the first exercise I did for this one on this push session was chest press. I've been really, really enjoying chest press recently, and I just added it into my routine just 2 weeks ago. But I've been really in love with this exercise because if you have a good machine, like in my gym, we have like 3 chest press machines, and they get progressively better. You could say the first one I tried, it was good, but yeah, it didn't necessarily allow for like a super deep range of motion. I could go as deep as I can go on bench press on the barbell bench press. Then the second one, I could go a little bit deeper. The second one that I just discovered whilst looking in my gym, I go a little bit deeper, but it still wasn't enough. And this morning, I found one that I never noticed before. The third chest press machine that really allows me to go super deep, like super super deep. So I really enjoyed this today. Like I could get a really good stretch and then really push it. And what's really good with chest press is that you don't have to worry about stability at all. Like with a barbell or especially a dumbbell, yeah, you often have to worry about stability a little bit. With the machine exercise like a chest press, you don't have to worry about stability at all. You're just on a fixed path, like a fixed path, so you don't have to worry. Stability is just is taken out of the equation, so you can just hammer your chest for like a few sets. That's what I really enjoyed. Like it really doesn't fatigue my chest at all. Like I could do a set and then 45 seconds right later, I'm ready to do another set. And I could honestly do 5 sets of this because it really isn't fatiguing at all. That's what I really enjoy about chest press. It isn't fatiguing at all. I could honestly do 5 sets of this in one session. That's how good the SFR, like the stimulus to fatigue ratio, is on this exercise. At least for me, it might be different for you. So I really really love it, especially because of the stability. Third exercise, incline dumbbell press. Like the other exercises were about the middle, lower chest, but now it's really more like an upper chest biceps exercise, the incline dumbbell press. Why I really enjoy this exercise is thanks to a certain cue that I got from RP, Renaissance Periodization. They made like a short, Mike Isotal, he made a short where he really described, gave a cue that I just tried one day and I absolutely love it. Most people, when they do dumbbell incline press or just dumbbell press in general, they maybe touch the dumbbells to the chest or maybe the shoulders. And the problem is when you do that, you actually get a worse range of motion than on the normal incline barbell press, the barbell press. So you get like the range of motion is less. You have like a shorter range of motion than when you do it with the barbell. Even though the main benefit of doing the incline press with the dumbbell is that you actually go deeper than with the barbell. So what I've been doing and the cue that I learned from RP, try to literally touch the dumbbells to your biceps. And when you do that, the stretch is amazing. I also did incline dumbbell press today. That was actually the last exercise that I did today on my push session. And I literally touched, like I can't touch the dumbbell to my biceps, but I can actually touch it to my side delts, and that's what I did today. I actually went so deep that the dumbbells were touching my side delts, and it worked really well. The mind muscle connection on this exercise is just really, really good. The burn is amazing, the stretch is amazing on the upper chest, so I really love it. But make sure you really try this cue. Come down and out and literally try to touch your biceps. If you're flexible enough, you might be able to, mobile enough, you might be able to touch your biceps. But even just touching your side delts, the stretch is just so good, like just amazing, super, super good. The only downside is that because you're using a dumbbell, there's a little bit more stability demands than maybe using a barbell or a machine, but it still isn't such a downside. Like it's not so bad actually. Fourth exercise, incline press. So it's basically the same thing as the previous exercise, but with the barbell. You don't do it with the dumbbell, you do it with the barbell. And although it doesn't necessarily allow you to go as deep as you can go with the dumbbells, it's still very good. The range of motion is still very good. It's actually better than doing it flat. It's actually a deep range of motion than you do when you do flat bench press. Like if you even look at your arms, your elbows, and your triceps, how much they go behind you on the incline press, they go actually way further than on the flat bench press. It allows for a deep range of motion. The range of motion isn't necessarily as good as on the incline dumbbell press, but it's still very good. And the advantage that this has over the incline dumbbell press is that there's more stability because you're using a barbell. So the stability demands aren't as high as when you use a dumbbell. So I really, really enjoyed this. I've been doing a lot of this. I've added it back into my routine recently, and it's been working really well. Really feel it well. I'm really able to grind out really, really well, and I really enjoy it. Really find it good. Really feel like a good mind muscle connection. So that's why I made it into this list. And then the fifth and last exercise, deficit push-ups. It's not my program recently. Like I haven't been doing it recently, and I actually just tried it out for the first time just a few months ago when I was in Spain. I was training with my brother, and my sister who lives in Spain has like a home gym, and we just found some. My brother wanted to do push-ups, and I just saw some yoga pads, like there's those rectangular yoga pads that are pretty thick. I just said, okay, let's do some deficit push-ups, and we placed our hands on those yoga pads, and then we did push-up legs like that, and we touched our chest to the ground, so we went super deep. It was amazing, like it was super, super good. And the stretch was really, really amazing. It was really good. The mind muscle connection was really good. So I really enjoyed doing deficit push-ups like when I was in Spain. And even here, when I came back for the first few weeks, when I came back to Germany, how I actually did this is actually just took 4 25-kilogram plates and I placed them on the ground. So I placed 2 on top of each other for each hand, and I just placed my hands on it. And then I did the push-ups, and I really went as deep as possible to the point where my chest was touching the ground, and the stretch was just really, really good. And again, it's not bad for your shoulders. It's actually good for your shoulders. It's actually going to make your shoulders more mobile. So don't worry, just go as deep as possible. So you just go to the point where your chest touches the ground, and you feel like your chest is just tearing apart. And the mind muscle connection is really, really good for me. I really feel really, really well. So that's why I made it into this list. But I'm not really doing it recently. But the only, you could say, downside of the deficit push-up is that you can't really load it. Like making it harder is not really possible. But for most people, if you're not super, super strong or super, super light, most people can still stay in the 5 to 30 rep range on deficit push-ups. And if you're magically strong, like super strong, and you need to make it harder, and you can actually do more than 30 reps with the deficit push-ups, then you could consider just putting your feet on a box on a bench to make it actually a declined deficit push-up. So it's gonna make the exercise even harder. And everyone, literally everyone on this planet, if they could use like a good technique, most people, like the big majority of people, would probably be okay with just using their body weight on deficit push-ups. At first, especially if they even put like their feet on a box or a bench and they actually do decline deficit push-ups, that's even harder than that. So yeah, that was my top five. Hope you found this valuable. Again, I'm not trying to claim that these are the best chest exercises, the five best chest exercises ever. They aren't. They're just my favorite. It might be different for you. It's probably different for you. It's probably different for different people. But for me, these are are personally my favorite chest exercises that really work for me because of the stimulus fatigue ratio, the mind muscle connection that I really feel on it, and how well it feel on my joints. So yeah, it might be different for you. And I hope it just gave you some sense of, maybe it helped you, gave you some clarity, or maybe inspired you to maybe try one of them, or maybe the technique that I gave you helped you in some way. And yeah, I hope you just find this valuable in some way. If you want more help from me, you're interested in my one-to-one fitness coaching, then you can click the first link in the description. Yeah, don't worry from discomfort, chase it.